A sentence and its parts. This is the tale of Mr. Morton. Mr. Morton is who? He is the subject of our tale, and the predicate says what Mr. Morton must do. The subject is a noun. That's a person, place or thing. It's who or what the sentence is about, and the predicate is the verb. That's the action word, and that gets the subject up and out. The cat stretched. The sun beat down. A neighbor chased his kid. Come here and kid. Come on. Come here, kid. Come on. Each sentence is completed when you know what the subject did. Every sentence has two main parts that need to be in perfect balance as they are equally important. The two parts are subject and predicate. The subject. The subject of a sentence is the person, place, thing or idea that is going or being something. Therefore, a noun and other words doing the work of a noun in the sentence form the subject. A subject of a sentence can be written with or without modifiers or the adjectives, etc., giving more information about the subject in a sentence. How can we locate the subject in a sentence? We can find the subject of a sentence very easily by using the following method. First, we locate the verb in the given sentence. Then we ask the question, who or what? And the answer to that question is the subject. Example, walking is a good exercise for people of all ages. The verb is has been located. Now we ask the question, what is a good exercise? The answer that we get is walking. So, walking is the subject in this sentence. All kind of sentences like statements, interrogatives, imperatives or exclamatory follow the same rule for identifying the subject. Arteries carry blood from the heart to other parts in the body. How many men will be on the boat? We should spend our holidays in Mysore. How beautiful a peacock is. The underlined part in each of the above sentence is the subject. The arteries, how many men, we, and how beautiful a peacock are all subjects. The predicate. Since the subject of the sentence, as its name suggests, is generally what the sentence is about or its topic, the predicate is what is said about the subject. The predicate is the part of the sentence beginning with the verb and the remaining part of the sentence. Therefore, the entire predicate consists of a verb and all its modifiers, that is the adverbs and other objects such as all nouns or pronouns found in the predicate part. The predicate part in the following sentences are underlined. Note the way the predicates tell us about the actions of the subject. For example, the garbage truck arrives very early in the morning. After the final song, the drummer hurled sticks at the crowd. She dropped the bag containing the groceries. the object. In addition to serving as subjects, nouns may also function as objects in sentences. Instead of performing the action as subjects usually do, objects receive the action and are found in the predicate part of the sentence. The object is the person or thing affected by the action described in the verb. She was waving an American flag. Ray stole the money. The cat chased the rat. Most sentences have a direct object answering the question what after the verb. For example, the car hit the tree. Here, the direct object is the tree. And answering the question, what did the car hit? Where car is the subject. Sentences can have an indirect object in addition to the direct object. We can locate an indirect object by asking the question to whom or from whom and where. For example, he sent a birthday card to her. Here, birthday card is the direct object and her is the indirect object. Note, there can be no indirect object without a direct object. Underline the subject in the following sentences. The inspector returned to the police station. Here, inspector is the subject. Sheila came first in the race. Sheila is the subject again. Dusty cobwebs covered the walls. Dusty cobwebs are the subject. Meena plays the violin in our orchestra. Here Meena is the subject. The cold water of the ocean made him shiver. The cold water of the ocean is the subject. A huge crowd gathered on the streets. A huge crowd is the subject. The train is arriving late today. The train is the subject. The hare is a timid animal. The hare is the subject. The baby crawled out of the room. The baby is the subject. The movie theater was packed with a holiday crowd. The movie theater is the direct subject here. Underline the predicate in the following sentences. Juhi and her dog ran on the beach every morning. Ran on the beach every morning is the predicate. My sister spilt all the milk this morning. Spilt all the milk this morning is the predicate. He broke his collarbone. Broke his collarbone is the predicate. This chocolate is very tasty. Is very tasty is the predicate. The villager asked him for directions. Asked him for directions is the predicate. To move on with some more examples. The horse ran freely in the meadow. Ran freely in the meadow is the predicate. This teacher is very kind to her students. Is very kind to her students is the predicate. My mother asked me to go to the store. Asked me to go to the store is the predicate. Raghu's brother bought a new car. Bought a new car is the predicate. We like to play cricket on holidays. Like to play cricket on holidays is the predicate. Underline the direct object in the following sentences. Our teacher gave away the answer scripts. The answer scripts are the direct object. The sailors boarded the ship. The ship is the direct object. They ate their lunch quickly. Lunch is the direct object. Kala bought a new cell phone. Cell phone is the direct object. Please switch on the TV. The TV is the direct object here. Underline the indirect object in the following sentences. Sharada packed the suitcase for her brother. Brother is the indirect object. Tina is cooking lunch for us. Us is the indirect object. My grandfather promised to buy a cycle for me. Me is the indirect object. He told his parents a lie. Parents are the indirect object here. Please give me that book immediately. Me is the indirect object here. Identify the parts of the sentences highlighted in orange in the given sentence. Suddenly, I saw a shadow on the wall. Shadow is the direct object. Next, she had to peel all the potatoes by herself. She is the subject here. He paid his fees late this month. Paid is the verb. And he saw the kitten sitting on the wall. Saw the kitten sitting on the wall is the predicate. Sarojini Naidu wrote a poem about fishermen. It's an indirect object. The snail eats daffodils that bloom in spring. Daffodils are the direct object. A man stood watching them at the game. Stood is a verb. Gurudev's songs are sung at night. Gurudev's songs is the subject. They sent him an urgent letter. Him is an indirect object. He bought his mother a sari today. Sari is the direct object. I saw her in the hospital. Saw her in the hospital is a predicate. To write long poems is difficult. To write long poems is the subject here. Subject or verb agreement. In order to write a grammatically correct sentence, we need to have a perfect balance in number, whether singular or plural, between a subject and its main verb in the sentence. Thus, if a subject is singular, its verb must also be singular, and if a subject is plural, its verb must also be plural. This is known as subject-verb agreement. Example: the dog often runs after the car. The dog is a subject which is singular, so we use a singular verb runs with it. Dogs often run after a car. Subject dogs is plural, so we use the plural form of the verb run with it. Rules for subject or verb agreement are: the following subjects always have a singular verb. The first rule is that pronouns such as everyone and everybody seem plural, but they are always singular, so they need a singular verb. For example, everyone who worked on the science project is a winner. Someone has to answer the phone. And the rule 2 is phrases such as together with, along with, and as well as seem to make subjects look like plural, but they do not. The verb will be singular if the subject is singular. For example, the floor in our room as well as the halls was flooded. The teacher, along with her students, is in the museum. My father, together with my brothers, works at a factory. The rule 3 says that uncountable nouns are always considered as singular. Example: some of the salt was spilled on the floor. Some milk is there in the jug. This is because uncountable nouns cannot be expressed with numbers. The rule 4 says that the following pronouns, when used as a subject, always take a singular verb. For example, each, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, someone, somebody, no one, and nobody. Everybody has been informed about the change of date. Each of the students was wearing the school badge. Nobody in the hall can leave before 1 o'clock. Has anyone seen my book? The rule 5 says collective nouns used as one unit will always have singular verbs in the sentences. For example, the committee is a large body. The flock of sheep moves to the hills in summer. Arvind's family is highly educated. The crew was sent ashore while the ship was repaired. And the rule 6 says, when two singular subjects forming a compound subject are connected by or nor, the verb is usually and always singular. For example, you can buy this coat or this sweater. Neither the girl nor the boy knows the way. The rule 7 says some nouns appear to be plural as they end with an S, but they are actually singular. Some of the examples are mathematics, civics, news, physics, and measles. So they are always used in a singular verb. For example, mathematics need a lot of practice. Today's news has given up all the details. The following rules are for using the plural form of verbs with the subject. The rule 1 says, when two or more subjects are connected using and, it will become a compound subject. Therefore, the verb is always in the plural. For example, Meena and her friends are still in the classroom. The students and the teacher were caught in the rain. The raincoat and the umbrella have to be used in this heavy rain. The rule 2 says, countable nouns in plural will always have a plural verb. For example, 3 kittens are given away. 5 notebooks have to be brought to class today. The boys are very noisy in the corridor. Dolls sell faster than other toys. The rule 3 says, nouns like scissors, tweezers, trousers and pants are considered plurals and will always go with a plural verb. For example, these trousers are too short for me. The tweezers were helpful to get the thorn out of my foot. Get the scissors that are on the table. Some indefinite pronouns are always plural. For example, both, few, many, and several. Both the sisters were absent. Few are law-abiding about garbage disposal. Several of the men suffered from fever on the ship. Many have given excuses for not attending the meeting. Here, both, where, fewer, several, suffered and may have are all indefinite pronouns. Choose the correct verb given in brackets for the subject in the sentences given below. A lunar eclipse dash happens or happen every year. A lunar eclipse happens every year. Jupiter and Saturn dash has or have dense atmospheres. Jupiter and Saturn have dense atmosphere. Mathematics dash is or are my favorite subject. Mathematics is my favorite subject. The Prime Minister and his wife dash is or are walking to the stage. The Prime Minister and his wife are walking to the stage. Every type of sunglasses that I saw dash expensive. Every type of sunglasses that I saw was expensive. When dash is or are the next news bulletin on TV. When is the next news bulletin on TV? Both the vehicles dash was and were damaged in the accident. Both the vehicles were damaged in the accident. Civics dash has or have to be taught in school. Civics has to be taught in school. Each of the twins look or looks different. Each of the twins looks different. The socks and the sweater dash needs or need to be washed. The socks and the sweater need to be washed. The stars dash is or are looking so bright tonight. The stars are looking so bright tonight. The herd of cattle dash was or were shut in the barn. The herd of cattle was shut in the barn. Knowledge and wisdom dash leads or lead greatness. Knowledge and wisdom lead greatness. Nobody dash knows or know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. The president along with the senators is or are going to view the situation. The president along with the senators is going to view the situation. Many people dash swims or swim here in the morning. Many people swim here in the morning. The farmer and his son dash suspects or suspect his neighbor. The farmer and his son suspect their neighbor. Milk is or are getting very expensive. Milk is getting very expensive. Neither of them is or are guilty. Neither of them is guilty. All of us dash wants or want to go on a picnic. All of us want to go on a picnic.